Welcome back to a very basic space program. This is episode 110, and I did not expect it to take this long to get to this point. We are in 1979. We're going reasonably slow, but today we're going to check some contracts that have been sat around waiting for a good 10, 15, 20 years. So we're going to take, thanks Gene, we're going to take first crewed lunar orbit, get that done. And you know what, while we're at it, let's take first crewed human moon landing. We don't have any humans, Jane. What's going on? First human moon landing. Let's take that. Right. Can you guess what we're doing today? Please join me. Yes, so we will be sending. We've got lots of research going on. We have two craft upon the pads. We have Dog 3D. I don't even know what Dog 3D is anymore. I just know that I'm pretty sure I built it to go to the moon. I don't remember what it looks like. And we've got the Egress 1C. Pretty sure that's got an asterisk engine, so it'll probably blow up. Either way, we're going to go for it. Before we do, I'm upgrading that because I can. It will mean no difference to anything, but it'll get us a bigger research speed and also unlock research, because at the moment we cannot do any more research because, well, we're doing it all. We're doing all the research, but we're now limited by, you see, I've started doing turbofans that, you know what? I refuse to do those. I'm sorry. Oh, they've all vanished. Oh, if you get that one, you get rid of them all. Exciting. So we've got a load back off that. Okay. I started doing the solid rockets. I thought I should probably do that. Anyway, let's get these craft up. We'll start with the lander, and then we'll send some crew. So I suppose we'll get this done. Right. So here we are. We're just warping through time, and of course, we have a Javelin 75. That's what we're sending up there with our lander on, because it's the most up-to-date craft and all that sort of stuff. It's a big beast, isn't it? I'm not going to talk over the whole launch because you don't need to see it. We'll just make sure it actually launches. We'll check its stages as we goes up, and that will be it. I don't want to talk too much about it. So we've got initial ignition, and is we going to light the candle? Are we going to go? Are we going to go? We are going. We are going. There we go. So we're off. Are we going to do our standard little Javelin 75 semi-roll that we get from them sometimes? No, we are not. Right. Looks like first stage is good. I shall see you at stage 2. We've had our solids just slowly burn out. They are basically gone. They're just hanging on to the outside. And of course, we've got our usual high-end up approach. You can see there the solids have basically just finished their drizzle. And our nose starts to go up. Our first stage is coming to an end. It's going to end any moment now. Just using it up. We did have a slight error, which was the ascent guidance had decided that it wanted to go to 40 kilometers. There we go. First stage is off. Second stage ignition is good. Looks okay to me. Of course, that second stage is a little puny, so it pushes its nose up a little bit more. Yeah, so we had our ascent guidance aiming for 40. We realised that pretty quickly and fixed it. Luckily, because it's basically got a maximum degree of change in angle of attack, it wasn't a major problem, so we should be okay. I suppose we'll let this stage burn out and see how the next one goes, because if there's going to be a problem, it's bound to be the next stage. And there we go. Our second stage has gone off. Our third stage has ignited. Let's just check around there. It looks like we've got full perfect ignition. Isn't that lovely? The craft is looking good. If you've got dizzy, I apologise. I don't know which angle I like most. Ooh, the attacking angle or the trailing angle. That's good. Yeah, so this thing should be getting into orbit. I think even if we... Oh, we've got an interesting little... Oh, what's going on there? Have I said something? Oh, I think our middle engine's gone funny. Has it? Let's check it. Do we have an... We do. Middle engine. Oh, middle engine. Oh, at least it wasn't the side ones, because, you know, gimbal would have been a problem. Loss of thrust. Is it only... Right, we've lost thrust on it. Okay. That's not going to kill us, because we have actually over-designed that stage. I think this stage is over-designed, so we should be okay. I don't want to have to use this, because it's only got one burn on it, so which means if I mess it up, the whole program goes in the bin. We have a minute left on this. It is predicting a required burn on this one. Oh dear. We're going to be short. Oh no. No. No, we're going to be 100 meters per second short. Now, was that always designed like that? Did I design it to be like that? We do have extra on this. I mean, let's be honest, there is extra. I don't really want to use all of this extra though, because yeah. Come on, just stop now. That'd be good. Yeah, that's brilliant. Thank you. Right, we're just gonna because we've only got one ignition on you now. We're gonna shut you down. Right. Put you on prograde. Get your RCS on. We've got our roll kicking it. Yeah, we've got the usual roll. So I'm gonna jump away. See if we can fix the roll. We are now going to get ourselves to the moon. Yeah, one of the things I've started doing is jumping out automatically and just checking that it's not like a residual. Sometimes it stops the spin being as vicious. So we're going to move ourselves to prograde. It doesn't really help. We are using a bit of RCS up, but it makes world easier if we do that. So we're actually going to do a, how do I normally do this? There we go. We're going to do a rendezvous planner approach, and we're going to do for the Hoffman transfer, because I tend to find for some reason that is easier. And then we're going to focus view, and what we'll just do is go right. Oh, that's a bit plainer, isn't it? We're gonna have a look at the maneuver and try and see what we can do about it. Let's pull it back a bit. Which way round do I want to go? I think I want to be anti-clockwise. It's what I think I want to be, and this is, it's not going to be too bad, is it? There we go. We're going to go anti-clockwise. That's a bit tight. Actually, it's not as tight as I'd like. How is that going to be compared to, there's the original egress. That, I suppose that went into a thingy landing. We just need the two of them to be in a similar orbit is actually what is on my mind. Right. So, let's refine that a little bit and see what it does. That is coming in right, isn't it? Yeah, so it's going to put us in an anti-clockwise orbit. I'm sure this is the wrong way to do it, but this is the way we're doing it. I'm trying to remember. So the Apollo program, they went around like this. They come around. So they actually come into a thing because they want to do a free return trajectory. So we could do it that way. It'd be interesting. I mean, potentially, we just do that. Is it going to help us? Will it take us all the way through? I don't really like it. I like coming this way. I like being anti-clockwise. I naturally come anti-clockwise. That's the way it goes. That's the way we're going to do it. So that's the way we're going to do it because we've always done it that way. Put it at 30. Actually, this craft is going to be doing the meeting, isn't it? It's going to do the sort of getting close. So we'll put it at 50. It should have enough to capture. It should. I can't actually remember what it requires, if I'm entirely honest. And I should have a picture of it somewhere. I do not. So I'm requiring upon Sea Monster's previous planning. And that could be a bad idea. Well, let's go for that. Okay. It's going to be in 12 minutes. Let's just let it. Oh, you see it? You see that? It moved. Right. We're going to turn that off. We're going to remove all nodes. We're going to do that again. See, this is the thing that annoys me. If I just jump like that, and that was literally one thing, this will move. And then it does it again, and it just throws. And this is obviously going to be a time today where it's going to play like that. So I'm going to go back again. You can hear the clicky clicky. Can you hear the clicky clicky? Hear the clicky clicky. There we go. We can also drag it. There you go. Do that. We're going to bring it in again. And where did we decide we wanted it? I was going to go the other way, wasn't I? 40. There we go. Okay. Execute the next node. So this is now going to roll round. It's going to burn time. The burn time's 12 minutes. That's not good. Oh, I know why. I haven't turned this on. That's why. There we go. Activate that engine. Look. There we go. Burn time is now 3 minutes. That's a bit more respectable, isn't it? I was looking at that going, what? Why have we got 800 meters per second? Because I was being clever and turned that off. Right. So is it going to time wipe me? I want to keep looking at 191 and 177. 191 and 177. What's it doing? Is it going to take us there? Is it going to get us on to the target? Is it doing that thing again where it just doesn't want to do it? Node. Am I out of RCS? Nope. Okay, that's interesting. I have signal. Why is it just decided not to do it? Hello? It's very odd. Sometimes it does this. Sometimes it will just do it. So I'm going to have to manually move it onto it. And it won't like it if I do it. So yeah, it's stopping it. It's almost if it gets stuck on where it should be and forgets where it is. And it sort of gets a bit weird. Right, I've turned the RCS off because it will counter it and put you in the wrong place. And I've seen that happen. It's very odd. It is very odd. Sometimes it does this. I'm not sure what it is. It's almost as if one of the probe cores decides that it doesn't want to do what everything else does and it's going to be in control. What if we do this? Is this one the one that's in control? Control from here. Well, I wonder if that'll help it. In fact, it might be that that one is the problem because it's uncrewed. I wonder if have we got another probe core somewhere? Where's my other probe core? Are you a probe core? You're not a probe core. You're not a probe core. Where'd I put a probe core? I'm sure I had a probe core around here. So are you you're a probe core. No, you're an integral tank. How many probe cores do we have? There must be another probe core hidden somewhere. Yeah, you're a probe core, aren't you? Control from here. Where's the control from here? And then we've come back to over here and we do control from here. I wonder if this will fix the situation. Right, there you go. Right, I'm going to let this thing sort itself out, and then we shall get back to it. I do wonder whether MechJeb is actually going, you've got 24 minutes. I'm going to take 24 minutes to actually move the craft around. Because it does let it move very slowly, to the point where it takes minutes and minutes and minutes. And I get it. I get it. It's the most efficient way of doing it. Tiny, tiny thrusts, long, long time. Okay, I get it. But, yeah, it gets horribly boring. Right, so we've got about 22 minutes until the burn. It's going to be a 3-minute burn. We are almost at the thing, so it should time warp. And now keep an eye on that 191, 177. Is it going to drop it? Because we are actually at a point where I've seen it drop it into the atmosphere before. And if it does that, I will not be a happy boy. Yeah, sea monsters will not be happy. So here we are. We're just going to get to it. Is it going to do its little thrusting? Are we going to hear it thrust? Oh, there we are. It's going to zero out that roll and everything. And then, okay. Gradually, it's pulled it in. I like it. That's good. Now, the one thing I do notice is we don't have any power things out, do we? Where's my electricity? Electricity charge. We do have electric charge still, so that's okay. What I would do is, though, just to be careful, we'll just extend. We'll extend a thing or two. I wonder where the extra charge comes from, because we've got a lot. I suppose we've got panels elsewhere that we could be using, possibly. Not entirely sure. Okay, so these are going to do this burn, like so. This stage will be used up, I believe. Oh, yeah, it will. So we're going to actually have a little bit of... We could actually take this with us. In fact, we'll hold on to it and use it if we've got some left. We might have some left. There's no point to get rid of it because actually I believe we've got the power to actually support it. If we don't, that's going to be embarrassing. I think technically we can turn off the avionics here, can't we? Shut down avionics. There you go. That saves us 400 watts. So that's a big chunk of our power requirement. In fact, about half of it. Half of the excess power we were using when not in the sunlight. So that is a bonus. Right, I'm going to let this thing run and get it out there, I think. And I have just realised there is no point us keeping this attached because we used the other burn coming up out of the atmosphere. So that's 500 meters per second we just are going to get rid of. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Right, we do have a little bit of stuff going on and things, so we're going to get rid of that. And then we're going to do a little bit of RCS forward backwards. We actually need to have it working. Do we have RCS working? Oh, we need to turn on the avionics, would be an idea, because we just shut them down. Actually, oh, no, that's the lights, is it? No, the avionics are on. We have a mass of that. Do we have any avionics? Where is... Hold on a second. Okay. Am I going to have to do this the dodgy way? Have I actually got... Oh, no, we do have avionics control. Okay. Thought there was something going on there. I've shut down the engine on purpose just in case I had to fire something up, because I know we should have avionics for this. I just can't think of where the avionics are. Right. There we go. That's fine. We'll leave that like that. Okay. You should be okay. You should have electricity for days. We're going to add in a maneuver thingy-doodle for your sphere of influence change. We'll give it a minute. Yeah, that's fine. There we go. That's going to... Why have I got two of them? Okay, there we go. Right, so we got that one. We got 4 days until you get there. I think it's probably time to launch our crew then. So let's get the crew going. Right, so here we are about to launch our second craft. This is gonna be 24 hours after, well, 23 hours and a bit after the last one. And this, of course, is got a crew on board, and of course, it's another Javelin 75. I couldn't remember what we were launching actually on this, whether it was something else that we were launching it on, or whether it was a Javelin 75. For some reason, in my head, I thought the crew component of this was a lot lighter, but I suppose it's got the return part as well. Anyway, so the Javelin 75 is going to go. Again, I'm not going to show you the whole of its launch process and it's getting into orbit. What I will do is, though, I will spoil the cinematic effect by... In fact, no, I won't. I shall show you when they're on orbit. Our crew is quite unique. I don't think anybody's ever done this before. Right, we are coming close to first stage burnout. The solids have gone. First stage is going to go soon, and I just had a look at the delta V that this thing's got and forgot just how much I had. I forgot how much leeway this craft should have, so it should be a little easier to get to orbit. And if not, it's got something else to help it, but then I also might need something else. I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to be honest with you. It might have too much delta V. It might have too little. I don't know. Second stage anyway is ignited okay. And I suppose we're going to now wait for third stage. So as we come to the end of the second stage, everything looks okay. Third stage ignites. You can see now the actual craft on the top there. I completely forgot we used that transfer stage. So that transfer stage is the same one that we're pretty much using all the time. And the idea is that's going to hopefully take us to the moon. And then that upper stage should be able to bring us back. I'm hoping. I think it's got enough delta V to bring us back. Fingers crossed. It should also be able to dock and do things like that, but we'll figure that out. It was built a long time ago. I may have made mistakes because we have refined those bits of design quite a lot. It does run on fuel cells. I could have converted it to solar panels. We'll see though. Let's see if this thing gets to orbit though. We are coming very close to the end of this burn. We are going to make orbit on this. There we go. Right. So we can now separate. We do not have much in the way of issue. Let's have a look at the craft. So you can now see that we have the wonderful Meyer family on board. We've got two pilots in the form of Regina Meyer and Renata Meyer. We've also got Annalise Meyer as our engineer. I'll need to remember that. I can't remember if our lander takes 2 crew or 1. If it's only 1 crew, well, we're taking a pilot down. If it's 2, we'll take an engineer. Yes, I'm not taking a scientist. No comment, basically. There we go. Our RCS is on. Good stuff. I'm going to set this thing up. We're going to get the fuel cells running. And then we're going to set it up for getting to the moon, I think. Right, our fuel cells are running. We're just going to check that everything else looks okay. We have liquid oxygen. That's right, we've got loads because we've got all that. We've got water is always a day, but then that will jump up when we start producing drinking water because they use some of it. 22 days of food, 22 days of lithium hydroxide. Oxygen is perpetual because we've got a lot of oxygen in the tanks. And electric charge potential because we're basically running on these here, this here. So we're going to keep this attached for now. We're going to do the transfer with it. we're going to see if we can do it in one burn and then use RCS. That will mean that we can then use this for the capture, which will save me potentially a lot. Because I can bring it in tight. I can waste fuel getting trying to get an alignment and things like that. We could do a lot with this. So yeah, let us do that. I think what we'll do is we'll prep for that transfer and get that done. Right, we are approaching our burn. I've activated this engine. I haven't staged it. It's just activated it. It should be okay doing that, I think. So we find out that it doesn't like doing that. Oh, there we go. Has it got ignition? We have ignition. Good, 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 good. I'm actually going to pop it up here so we know we can shut it down because I don't want it to use its second ignition. It only has 2 ignitions. I wish it actually had more than that because of course it's got maneuverability from that as well, which would have helped actually in docking and things like that, but it doesn't matter. We're going to get rid of it. This will do some of the work once it gets there. It's fine. 2,200. This should be more than enough to get docked and get back to Kerbin. To Earth, sorry. The big issue will be for us the docking. Just getting the craft aligned. I'm going to have to see what fuels the craft have. My concern is us running out of Delphi. We could have uploaded this a bit more, downloaded this. So I think we're going to have about 1,000 extra on this. So we could have gone bigger here. But then equally, we've had to upscale the whole thing. This thing was really not designed originally for doing this, but we are pushing it. So we'll see how it goes. It should be fine, I'm sure. We can speed this up a little bit, just a smidgens of speedy uppy. There we go, 3 speedy uppy. We'll get it there. But it's got about a minute of burn time left. And yeah, so we got the Mayer family on board. They're all 1-star. Interestingly, all 1-star because of course none of them have been to the moon, done anything interesting on the moon yet. Did they do flybys? I think one of the Mayers did a flyby. I'm not really sure what level they're all at. The big one is, I mean, we don't need them for their piloting skills or anything because probe cores. I think the lander has a probe core. I just realized it might not, so actually having one with a piloting skill would be useful. We also might have a problem with communications, although we do have a communication system around the moon. It's a bit spotty at times, even though it's got like 5, 6 of them, you know, that sort of thing. Right, we're going to shut that down, shut it down, get ready to shut it down. Here we go, there we go, turn that off, there we go. Right, what we're looking like. We're going to shut that down. I said shut. Hello? Shut down. Get rid of that. Go prograde. And then we're going to do a bit of... There we go. We're going to do a bit of the retro burning, backwardsy burning. So we're coming in, going out. I want to get a thing. Now, we can't actually set up maneuvers with this until our other craft is in the sphere of influence, because we can't see its orbit yet. We can't see its orbit paths. So we need it to get into the sphere of influence. So that will be the next step. Right. I'm going to take us a little high because we have extra delta V to waste. So I'm going to put us a little higher. And there we go. I think that's right. I think I'm happy with that. Turn off the RCS. Are we running okay? We do have electricity, do we? Yeah, we do. Let's check on how everything's going. So again, water 1 day, but that's fine. It'll fix itself, I'm sure. We've got 22 days of food. We've got 22 days of lithium hydroxide. So we're not in a hurry. We're not in a hurry to do this. It takes about 5 days there, 5 days back. That means we've got about 10 days around the moon. So I'm not in a massive hurry for the docking. I can give it a bit of time. That's the reason the craft has this amount of fuel on board and things like that. Liquid hydrogen, liquid oxygen, obviously, yeah. Are we actually draining them from there? I don't know. So I should probably check that. Anyway, let's get these things to the moon. And as if by magic, we are about 3.5 days in the future, and we have the egress craft arriving in the moon's sphere of influence. We've got unlocked the avionics there because we're actually not time warping anymore. What we're going to do is we're going to capture this as nicely as possible. So there we go. We're going to put the maneuver in there. I'm going to grab this into a capture, and I think I want to bring it down reasonably low. Is that going to be okay? That gives me a bit of ability to do stuff with it. We're on the transfer engine, so that's got multiple ignitions. That's not going to be a problem, I don't think. Let me just check. Yeah, it should be fine for ignitions. So I think we're good for that. That's going to be in about 19 hours. Dog 3 will arrive just after this has done its capture, so we can warp this forward, do this capture, and then hopefully we've got Dog 3 ready. So right, we have a pause moment because we've lost people due to extreme radiation exposure. We've lost the crew. We have lost the crew of the Dog 3. How? How have they all of a sudden got extreme radiation exposure? Did we have a storm of some sort? We have. Oh my lord. There's been a solar storm that we didn't even notice. We didn't come up with a warning because we were time warping. We've lost the crew. Oh wow. Oh, I do not know what to say. We've lost an entire crew. What on earth do... Here we go. So we've got... Alert. There we go. We've got the probe running out of... We've got the probe running out of power. That's the probe, not the actual list thing. We've got crossing Earth's radiation belt, exposure to extreme there. After being exposed to extreme radiation. Now, we've had crew go beyond that before. We've had them go to the moon before. Is this just because we have a solar storm? We've just been hit by a solar storm. Oh wow. So Annalise Mayer, Renata Mayer, and Regine Mayer are dead. Well, that's changed the plan for this episode significantly. Note to self: don't get your crew killed. So, what will we do? We're going to dock that craft to here. There's a reason for it. It means we've got a craft around the moon. Okay, its hydrolocks will run out, but it does have storable propellants on it. So potentially it can help in the future if need be. And I'm pretty sure it's got control. I'll need to check antennas, but it should have control. So we're still going to do all of this. Now, I've never lost a crew through radiation before, so that's a new one for me. I don't know if this version was particularly picky for radiation or not. What that does mean is if we do continue this version and look at flights to elsewhere, we're going to have to build some shielding into craft. In fact, that may be... In the past, I've actually put stations up and had them transport from one station to another. And that's how we've worked it, and vice versa. And that's potentially acted as shielding, I suppose. But yeah, this is not what I was expecting. I wonder whether, if we get that craft here, we could then send something big with shielding. Wait for the right time, send them back afterwards. There's that option, isn't there? Right, let's just fire some engines, I think. Yeah, let's activate this thing. There we go. The problem we're going to have is these two were launched at pretty much the same time, so they were in the same sort of inclination. Now, we're going to see just how similar the inclinations are when this is done. But that was part of the reason why we launched them. Now, of course, potentially we do not have a problem now with timing because we've just got fuels on board. I wonder how long the electric charge would last. I suppose we could turn off that command pod's avionics now. And this thing could just sit for as long as possible because on board we've got the nitrogen stuff like that. I suppose we can depressurize everything, so we're not going to waste oxygen and nitrogen and stuff. Let's have a look. Does it actually have a wastage going on at the moment? Okay, that's terrible. Electric charge, we're on perpetual. Yeah, so we're not actually losing anything. Is this not? I mean, shut that down actually. Sit. Oh, that's interesting. Shut that down. We could. What else have we got? There isn't no pressurizing stuff, is there? Oh, no, that's interesting. So it's an unpressurized. I didn't realize that. We've only got a scrubber, so they've got to obviously be in their suits in there. That's interesting. How they eat when there's food on board. I suppose that's an interesting approach. Right. We have got this arriving, so we're going to jump to that, and then we're going to see if we can do the docking. I suppose if nothing else, we're practicing the docking around the moon. Oh, there's going to be bodies on board. Oh, is it going to show them? I hope not. Right, here we are. We are on the Dog 3, and it's showing us no crew on board, which is understandable. What we can do is, I suppose I could shut down the avionics on this, can't I? Where are we? RCS avionics. Where's my avionics? Where's my avionics? It won't let me. Why will it not let me? Where? Turn descent mode on. Lock that. Shut down avionics. There we are. Look at that. It saves an awful lot of electricity. Right, so we've got 18 hours of electricity. Now, of course, this thing has fuel cells, so we're going to have to turn them on because otherwise it will run out. There we go. One fuel cell is enough now. That's interesting. Well, so much for keeping that attached, I suppose. We're going to let this thing fly through, get to the sphere of influence change. So we're going to run it through, get it there. Then we're going to do a capture, and then we can start messing around. Now this potentially, if we turn off, like how long's that hydrogen? That liquid hydrogen says it's going to last a year. That's going to be 4 years for liquid oxygen. Okay. It will be interesting to see. Right, I get the idea. Why are you doing this? Why do you keep... Right, I get it. I get it. Yeah, you're going to do it again, aren't you? You're just going to keep doing it. What on earth? What is going on with this? It's always 5 minutes away. 5 seconds away. Okay. Right. How are you doing this? It is always 5. Right, now it's sub. Now it's sub, so it should be all right. Right, it was on a weird thing there. It was just almost as if it was moving. Yeah, it's moved its height. So it's got... Oh, this craft is cursed. I think we have a cursed craft. I suppose it's probably haunted now, isn't it? The entire family has died on board. Wow. It was going to be glorious if it succeeded, but this has become horrible. This has become a horror show of, oh God, no. Right. Let us maneuver and then just do that. Let's bring it down. Now, what's the inclination? Oh, that would have been perfect as well. It was going to be a beautiful little situation, wasn't it? Come on, capture me. Capture me, people. We're going to take it down low, I think. Yeah, we'll take it down as low as we can. Get some of this delta V used up from this stage because we're going to have to dump it. What I actually might do is, I suppose I could shut that off. This is a big store of hydrogen that we could just leave. This might be a bonus. This might be the biggest bonus we've ever had. No. Retrograde. Oh, I've shut the engine down. Damn it. Right, this is as far as we're going to go, isn't it? All right, get rid of that. Right, how far down we go? Oh, it's still a long way to go to goodness. I suppose we could use the push stage of the other one to take it into a dice orbit. You know what? This is an okay orbit. It's not terrible. Right. I'm going to let the RCS sort this out while it's going crazy. And we're going to bring the other craft in and try and dock the two because I like the idea of that hydrogen tank, actually. That is tasty. That hydrogen tank could keep us fueled until we get another craft out here. 2 years. Yeah. I think we can use this. I think this could be usable. So the question is, can I get a craft out here quicker? Because this is a return vehicle. We won't end up being 8 meters away. I mean, it's crazy talk, isn't it? This is going to be about 1 hour 40 minutes. So we're going to put a marker just in there on the way. We are going that way, aren't we? Yes, we are. And we're going to just we're going to do a little bit of timey-wimey warpy to it. There we go. And then what we'll do is we'll put ourselves in a retrograde to target. We know when we're going to hit the target, as it were. There we go. You can see ourselves coming in. We can close this. We're going to be there in 5 minutes. We're going to use most of our fuel for this. So we're going to need about a minute. So about 30 seconds away, we can go for it. So target negative parallel. A relative velocity minus is what I want. So we're actually using a bit of RCS now, which is annoying because it's going to throw us off. So going relative velocity minus is going to basically slow us down because we're coming in hot. And this is the same as negative retrograde burn on the marker. There we go. You can see actually it's going to be pretty much lined up. We're going to be about 14 meters away. Ooh, I don't like that. We're getting further away, people. So we should start to be able to see it at some point. It's going to be somewhere, possibly. I don't know where. Is it higher than us, lower than us? We're always on the dark side of the moon when these things happen, aren't we? We can get rid of that. Don't know why that's still up. Have we actually got fuel? We've got 2 hours of light. Okay. Right. Okay, we're going to be within 8 meters. Turn the RCS off now. We can do a little bit of forward planning or forward movement. Is F4 going to be a problem again? Probably not. We'll see. I do know that F4 turns things off now. If you've watched the Kerbalish series, you will have seen the joy that brought to me, figuring that one out. Trying to dock to something that just wasn't a thing. Right, so it should be sort of in front of us or behind us, but I cannot see it for the life of me. So is it? There it is. F4. Hit the F4. Right. We're going to turn the RCS on. We're going to give ourselves a bit of that. Hello. I'd like the engine to do something right now. Oh, we are getting it. We are getting it. Right, and now start the engine. There we go. We're just firing that engine straight at the craft because that is the best way to do it. That is literally the best way of firing our engine at the orbital craft. We don't want to look at the bodies. We don't want to dwell on what could have been, what could have happened. What I could do now is actually land this and do a test landing and then do a return of that, and that would be really a fitting tribute. But if we're going to put that craft down again on the moon, I'm doing it with crew on because it's just a pointless exercise otherwise, isn't it? Right, we are coming in. Oh, it's going to be close, isn't it? Ooh, I think we are going to overshoot, but maybe a little too close. Ooh. Ow. Yeah, that was a little closer than I was originally intending. What did we lose? What did I knock off? What have we misaligned now? We've lost something, but I think it was just a solar panel. Wow. Force roll. Come on. Has that collision actually just caused a glitch, or am I just not reading this right? I'm just finding it very odd. And that, yes, that collision was my fault completely. Shouldn't have gone as close. Should have come further away. Should have started the engines earlier. I should have tested the RCS starting up so that it was actually okay. I know that's my fault. Okay, I'm aware of that. You can comment down below what were you doing going so close. I think we can see what's happening with this mission though. This mission, thank goodness there was no crew on board there. Well, sorry, thank goodness there was no live crew on board. Right, we're now out of physical time warp, so it shouldn't. Right, it should not be doing anything. Why is it tumbling? Right, it's now off and it's tumbling. And it's doing it again. That is a roll that is not induced. It's got nothing going on. Right, we're going to jump out and see what's going to happen. Right, we are back after leaving the craft. And I'm just waiting to see if it stops its roll now and if it does the same thing. I think we may have a massive glitch here. We're now 5.5 kilometers away from the target vessel. We're going to be at 6 or 7 by the time we actually start going back towards it. But we're going to go for, that's target. Yeah, we're aiming at target. And what I'll do is I'll then start playing around with alignments and stuff. once we get a chance. So we're now down to 190 kilometers apart, and we're still going because we're still not get down to that 0 yet. We have to get it under 0. I could be more efficient use this engine, but I don't want to fire off that much in one go. So we're going to use the RCS, which is not as efficient. Yeah. Equally, I could probably use these landing stages as well. I would like to get rid of this pretty quickly. So we will dump that when we can. Primarily because it has used, it sucks. That's interesting. I actually pressed the things there and it's bringing it back. Why are you bringing it back? That's interesting indeed. So it was focused on bringing it back to a point that I wasn't at anymore. So there's something going on with the stock components, possibly with an interaction with MechJeb, I'm not sure. This is how we work it. We do exactly the same. I could knock that one off, actually. If I roll it and get that one off, it's not so much of a problem. This engine should stop pretty quickly, so I'm not too worried. It's just about getting the engine, and because we're swinging around, it actually should be all right. The problem is going to be residuals on this, because it may not actually start. I've just realized, in which case I have to kick that off, and then I have to fire the small ones on here. Is it going to start up? That's the question. It has a lack of fuel right now. Oh, it went. So yeah, so we're going to go to plan B, which is that and that, and then we're going to, there we go, do that using a little thruster. So this is the landing fuel we are now using, which is annoying, but we can do it. These are not as efficient as the landing engine, so you'll see the delta V is going to start dropping, but we've now got them on, and they are sort of thrustable. That's not a big problem for us. We're going to rock ourselves along, park ourselves underneath, and then we'll let the other craft do the docking. Now, I don't think we can transfer fuel. I don't think we have that ability. But we can figure some stuff out once we've docked. So, let's have a look. We're going to be closest point in... It's having a bit of a problem holding itself, isn't it? We're close enough now. We're going to dock it. It gives us options. It gives us options, and I like having options. Right. So I'm going to take that one. We're going to jump across, and we're going to get this one to do the doxing. Okay, liking it. This is going to be a painful one, I think. We are coming in quite firm. Let me just be honest about that. I think we are. Am I controlling it from the right point? Yeah, I think we are. Oh, bump. Got a bump. Oh, there we go. Docked. There we are. Perfect. Right. So we now have one set of solar panels. We could shut down these. So turn them off. Turn that off. Oh, we're actually running out of oxygen. Why are we running out of oxygen? Pressure controller's going crazy. The LOX to OX converter's going crazy. That's odd. Where's it all gone? Is this the... Oh, this is like the problem we've had before. We'll leave that in orbit. We'll send a crew out. If the crew can't get into this and can't land it, well, then we can't. It's had a bang. It's had a big bang, in fact. We'll try and use this to do the actual landing, I think. We'll use this stage. This we'll activate it. We'll get rid of that there. We'll get this and see if it can actually do some of the work for us at least, or we'll try and do it. We'll point it in the right direction and see what happens. It might be that we need this stage to actually do the controlling before we do the burn. We'll see. We'll use this as a dumb waiting effect. Put the crew on here somehow. Not entirely sure how we're going to do that, but we'll do it. Probably have to decouple this, get this on, move them around. I don't really want to have a craft like this that's been sat in orbit all this time, although I suppose... Where's the food? Oh, the food was eaten by the original crew. Yeah. We'll just dump the crew bodies, can we do that? So, on our schedule, we have Teal 2 going, and we have Pathfinder, 2 Pathfinder missions going as well. They're going to go to Saturn in 154 days. Do we sacrifice a Jupiter mission? We have the Saturn mission. We have the Saturn mission there. The next window, does it look as good? I'm even tempted to sacrifice all of them, put another lander and another. The Teal has to go. Teal has to go because we've got the Titan mission with a deadline. I'm going to scrap the Pathfinders. I'm not going to scrap them. I'm just not going to do them. So I'm going to send that. I'm going to put another egress in. I may actually just launch the Mars missions. Yeah, I may just launch the Mars missions off camera and do the Pathfinder arrival, put it into orbit, and then we'll deal with it later sort of situation off camera. So the next episode will be Dog 3 and Egress hopefully arriving at the moon. And then it's a continuation of this in effect. Yeah, so that's what we'll do. I'll knock the other ones out over in the background, and we can see their outcome in the future. But this is what we're going to focus on. Teal 2 will of course be launching after that. It'll be in the window after it. So from me, until next time when we're going back to the moon, because we're going to just get everything out of the way first, have a great one.